Hello and welcome back to one of our mini training sessions on Workbooks CRM. And in this one, we're going to cover top 5 bad habits in workbooks. So in the world of using CRM, old habits might die hard, even with a really powerful, intuitive system like Workbooks CRM at your fingertips. It's easy to fall into practices that undermine its effectiveness. And many users unknowingly adopt behaviours that limit their CRM's potential, getting the most out of CRM. In this session, then, we're exploring the top 5 counterproductive habits that we frequently see in Workbooks CRM. Many times when we experience these on the help desk, we try to make a note of them and try to point them out to people. These aren't just some of them aren't just minor quirks. They're patterns that can significantly impact your data quality, and that's got implications on reporting accuracy and marketing and your overall success with workbooks. And it's important to point out that these habits, the habits that we go through, they can occur in any CRM system out there, not just workbooks. For example, if you were using an older legacy system, say like Goldmine, and you were using these bad habits there, the danger is that you just sort of continue to use them in the new system. So the 5 bad habits, not in any particular order, I should say. Overuse of notes. Stuart's going to go through this. My colleague Stuart's going to go through this in a bit more detail shortly. Overuse of notes, improperly handling activities, neglecting keeping your contacts up to date, underutilizing the quote tool that's built into workbooks, and handling of little email campaigns. Well, if you're dabbling with email and email marketing, some pointers there. So, hello, my name is Tim Wilmot, and joined by my colleague, as I mentioned, Stuart, Lawrence and Hind, and our company, Wisdom Systems. We're a leading independent CRM solutions provider of solutions like workbooks, and we aim to help out small and mid-sized companies improve their sales, marketing, and customer service productivity through the use of CRM. So thanks those of you watching live, attending live for this mini session, part of a series of different events, little short events that we focus on different topics around workbooks. And this one, we're just going to cover some of those top 5 bad habits. Now, the audio part of this call is one way only. If you've got any questions, please type those into the question box on your meeting control panel. We'll do our best to answer those at the end. And if you think of any other bad habits that we don't mention, then pop them into the questions section as well, so I can read them out and share them with other attendees. Okay, well, let me hand over to my colleague Stuart. We'll just do an overview, a pointer on these 5 top habits.
So we're all guilty of not having enough time to look after our CRM. Not myself, my boss is listening. So how can we make sure that workbooks is being looked after and that we as users aren't falling into these bad habits? So the first habit Tim mentioned, using the notes as an activity dumping ground, because it's so easy to open a note and enter some data. And I can give you an example here. I can even use my perfect example. For example, I can use this one. So I type into here. Perfect. There you go. I'm really busy, but I just wanted to make a note that I've took a phone call from Alan, and now I can carry on with my day. Perfect. Save Alan's record, and I'm done. I now move on. Is that bad? I recorded the details of the call. However, auditing, activities, people following up. Someone may ask you, did you speak to Alan? Yes, how was it? They haven't got time to speak to you. They'll check the record. But there's no summary now of that phone call, and we can double check that. I've got a report here that is called completed activities. There's Alan, there's the company he works for. 2 meetings and a to-do. There's no record of that phone call I've just had with Alan taking place. What you should do on the record is go to activities and record a phone call. It's really quick, really simple. There's only one field on this system that's mandatory, which was what was the subject about. I can still paste stuff in. I don't have to record the exact time and date. It gives me rough ideas. But that information gets recorded on the activities, it gets recorded in the summary, and it would be available in any reports. Right, while we're here, on to the second item, the famous never-ending activity. Again, the blog explained this so easily. We've got a meeting or a phone call that just keeps getting moved. And it will be so easy to go into the activity. For instance, I've got one here, a phone call with Jane. Well, Jane's going to make a phone call. Jane's not available. And I just think, oh, you know what? I'll just bump this to tomorrow. Perfect, done. I won't click on OK, but if I clicked on OK, the appointment will just move to tomorrow. The problem is, there's no history that I tried to call this person. So what you should always do, and they even give you the options in workbooks, is that you do complete the activity you were asked to do, which was phone this person, but they weren't there. So complete the activity you were told to do. The system will now copy the information from that original call and leaving you free to schedule the new time you'd like to try. I'm going to say 3:30. Okay, that. Save and close. And now there's a record that I tried to call, and here's the new call. It's much easier and much cleaner to do. Okay, the third habit, or sort of bad habit that we've seen, updating your records, looking after your contacts. Now for this one, I'm going to use Aaron at Cambridge, and I'm talking away to Aaron on a phone call, and I mentioned that I haven't heard from one of his colleagues who works for this company at Cambridge. This Harrison guy, I haven't heard from him in a while, and Aaron sort of says, well, oh no, Harrison's decided to leave the company and move on to pastures new. I carry on my phone call and just carry on with my work and carry on with my day. No, here's what I should do. On the People tab here, you can see that Harrison is employed by Cambridge Computer Services. Let me minimize that. Ooh. Get Harrison first, sorry. And all I need to do is to update his record. Now, if I'd been on the ball, I could have asked Alan if he knew where Harrison had gone, but annoyingly, I missed that bit. But I can at least update the system with what I do know. And all I need to do is tell the system, Harrison doesn't work here. When I click save, a wizard appears from nowhere. It just assumes the obvious. Harrison's left. It then suggests, do you want to copy anything from the company record to Harrison? Now, the only thing I'm going to take a stab at here is that the mobile number might be Harrison's. And I click save. The system gets updated. Harrison's record still shows an organization, but is updated to show he previously worked for Cambridge. And now if we're lucky enough to speak to Harrison Foster in the future, we can update this and add a new organization. Really nice, really simple. Okay, so while we're on this, I'll go back, I'll use Aaron for this one. Aaron was chatting away, and he mentioned some prices. And quick as a flash, I said, yep, no worries. Give me a couple of minutes and I'll send them over to you. You end the phone call. You open an email to Aaron. coming to here, I'm going to cheat and just paste in some text because it's much easier for me. There we go. And I send that over to Aaron. There's his prices. If you'd like to go ahead, let me know. I'll then prepare a quote and send it out to you immediately. It looks okay. But even I can see that I'm going to end up duplicating the work. I've quoted for some products and I've told Aaron if that's okay, I'll send out a quote. So why not do it right the first time? Quoting in workbooks is not difficult. I know what Aaron wants. So let's do this. Close the email. Discard all those because it's no good. I'm on Aaron's record. I don't need to make opportunities or anything. I can just go to the transaction tab, make a new quote, customer quote. That's it. Fill in the details. When I save it, I add the products, these 5 laptops that he's after, and I send the email that the system will generate to Aaron. He's still getting an email. He'll get a document with the details of the quote in there. And the beauty of this is it becomes part of an audit trail. It's not just an email. It's more to it than that, and it can be tracked, it can be audited, and it can be looked at by other people. Right, emails. We were talking about those. The 5th bad habit. Right, this one is slightly different, and we see this one a lot. Let me just close all these down. We don't need any of these. Right. Thinking small with email campaigns. I want to send all of the contacts that are based in Edinburgh an email about an upcoming event that we're going to be attending. And I've created an email template, and I want to send it to all of them. Now, I know how to do this. I go to marketing. I go to mail shots. And I can just create a new mail shot. In fact, we did a webinar on this quite recently. So I'll just create a new mail shot. I open the wizard. The mailing list is Edinburgh. And I follow the wizard through. Here's all the people. There's the description. That's who it's going from. I've already got a template written out. I don't even need to write one. I click next. There are no attachments at this stage. I click next again. The wizard is that easy. Now, when I complete this, I'll be given the option of do I want to send it now or later, but this is ready. Problem is, I don't want to be in trouble because depending on my service provider, there's a very good chance that there are limits in place on how many emails I can send in one go because this email is identical. And certain providers put limits. It could be 100, it could be as low as 50 within an hour or even lower than that. So you do have to be careful. What's the answer? Well, the answer is to create the campaign as you just saw, but instead of using workbooks for this, create it through one of the integrated options, Gatormail, MailChimp, but use the integrated system. My email account won't be in trouble. The domain won't be in trouble. It also means I get to take advantage of the features that they offer to track the email for me. This will give me an idea of who's opened the email. Did they click a link saying that they'd like to pop along to the event? It's clean, it's tidy, and it said you get this trackable feature. And that's it. 5 easy ways to avoid 5 commonly used bad habits. And with that, I'll hand things back to Tim.
Thanks very much, Stuart. Yes, so by no means the only bad habits that you might experience or you might have experienced with workbooks, but certainly our sort of top 5 there. And Stuart made mention of our blog. If you go to our website and click on, I think it's the news menu item, you'll go to our blog, which we keep fairly up to date, almost on a daily basis of new articles and bits of information, product updates on workbooks and the other solutions that we supply at Wizard. So just while you're thinking of any questions, or indeed if you want to mention, if you want to own up to any bad habits that you've experienced in your implementation, then pop that into the question section. So we've been handling workbooks a long time. We've been handling CRM a long time, nearly 31 years now. So we provide any service around workbooks. If you're not familiar with us, We provide lots of CRM services to make sure you get the most out of workbooks, and training as well, implementation training as well, to also prevent you falling into those bad habits. And then ongoing help desk support, a proactive support service to make sure, again, that you get the most out of CRM. And Stuart made mention of emailing quotes. Of course, in workbooks, you've got the PDF feature, you've got Word or Google Docs, and you could, we gave the example of the quote in the email. You can have email templates. You're still creating that quote record. You still got that audit trail. You've got a record of these quotes going out. But I guess it's down to your customers. What kind of format do they prefer? I was talking to a company yesterday, and they insist on producing all of their quotes in a PDF format, because one of their major clients they send quotes to has to then print them out, forward them to other sites, other offices. They require that PDF format. So it's a case of really finding out what format do your customers prefer to, of course, to receive this information in. Right. If you've got any questions or you'd like to own up to any bad habits, first one from Karina. We suffer from duplicate records. Oh, that's a top one. Duplicate records, Stuart.
You should make use of the built-in feature when Workbooks spots a duplicate organization or a duplicate person. There'll be a merge button. If the capability is being turned on for you, you'll see this button highlighted on the system, and then you click the button and it will show you the 2 or 3 similar records that it's found. Then you can sort of cherry pick which of the fields you want to bring over, that person's email address, but maybe you want the telephone number for another column, and it will put all those together and make one record built from all those merged records that it's found. So yeah, merge, I think it is merge, just a button on the record itself.
Okay, question from Lee. What's the point of notes anyway? Shall I handle that one, Stuart?
Yeah, okay, yes, please.
So as Stuart said, it's a kind of catch-all. You're going to find notes in any CRM system. And the danger is, as we're trying to explain, the danger is that users stumble across notes. They think, oh, it's so easy to plonk in information in there about a phone call or an activity or some other information that really should be a little bit more structured. So it's more of a catch-all. So if the information that you want to record, and for your own benefit or for somebody else's benefit, and it doesn't fit into any other slot or area in your CRM system, it's not a call, it's not a meeting, it's not a sale, it's not a product, then that would be a good suggestion for notes. You could disable it from the screen if it's confusing to users. If you did really want to do that. But yeah, notes exists in any CRM, and I guess if Workbooks remove notes, then there'd be loads of complaints about, why haven't we got a notes tab on records? And the nice thing about notes is you can also attach files, so you can have different types of notes records as well. But don't use it for activities. Third question from Caroline. If you can raise a quote from transactions, why does opportunities exist? Shall I answer that one again, Stuart?
Okay, yeah, sure.
So you're raising quote, so you can do your quotes. Why bother with opportunities? Good point. It's down to really what you need from a CRM system to keep a visibility of potential business coming into your organization, potential orders coming in. Now, opportunities, again, is a common feature of many CRM solutions, like Notes, a common feature. And I guess where opportunities comes in is it's got the ability to track more information outside of the quote. The quote is just a kind of selling tool. It's just you confirming pricing and your offer to a potential client or existing customer. It's just your offer and it's there. You hopefully you make it look nice, and it's going to help you get that order. But it's just containing basic information about the products and the pricing and the date and the name of the person that's raised the quote. Some organizations need more than just the quote for tracking the opportunity, particularly if you're in an organization selling high value items, and or the sales process, the time, the sales cycle, that's the word I'm looking for. The sales cycle is long and protracted, maybe many weeks, many months, maybe many years. That's where opportunities come in. Or maybe the sales process is very complicated. You've got to go through lots of steps from the initial inquiry to getting the order and then implementing the solution with the customer. That's where an opportunity allows you to track that extra information that's not in the quote. But if you're supplying low value goods, not complicated, quick sales process, well, maybe you can just get by with creating quotes, and you can do your sales forecast reporting from that. I suppose the other thing with opportunities is they also have a concept of probability. What's the likelihood of you getting that deal, this sale, and that can be quite important for some companies to report on and look at and get a kind of weighted view of this month. How many orders are we going to get? Looking at that probability and the value, one multiplied by the other gives you the kind of weighted values, which may be a bit tricky from lots of quotes. But great question, Caroline. Thanks very much indeed. Don't think there's any more questions, Stuart, from our live audience. Right, so there is a 7.3 workbooks waiting in the wings. More on that later on. I think it's just going through beta, the final phase before it's launched to the outside world. So stay tuned for that one, 7.3, about to hit your workbook system. Can't give you too many details right now on exactly what's in it, but as soon as we know for sure, we will let you know. And then we've got a one-day Mastering Workbooks course in a couple of weeks' time. And if you've got any suggestions for topics on workbooks, something that might be of interest to the general community out there, then please let us know. Or another question from Caroline. Is there a Workbooks customer conference this year? Yeah, run by Workbooks. Yeah, probably there most likely will be. It's quite often towards the autumn, and sometimes there's not too much advance notice. So you'll be notified, Caroline, of that conference. Normally it's sort of London way as a location. Right, yes, so any topic suggestions, please drop us a line, contact Stuart and myself. Be happy to consider them. And well, we will catch up with you hopefully next week on another Workbooks topic. Thanks very much indeed. Bye-bye.